Hi everyone, Professor Gibson here. Just wanted to briefly talk about your toy paper analysis that you have to do. So there will be a list of toys. It's already posted. I don't want to show it because it has students' names on it, and I use this same video from semester to semester. So basically, there's a list of students' names in the class, and then there's two different toys listed beside your name. So you can pick one of the two. So you have a little bit of leeway. So maybe one is Magnetiles and one is Melissa and Doug cleaning thing. So you can pick one of the two that you want to work on, okay? But it has to be one of the two. So you'll lose points if you don't follow the instructions on that. So there is a template here that you can go through. I would prefer that you use, if you use a template, to use it as a guide and then rewrite your paper just in paragraph form. If you upload it as a template, it's going to be a high Turnitin score, which is fine. I mean, the directions say to use the template, you can use the template. It's just that my preference would be for you to write it as a paper. So you're going to analyze this toy. You're going to say, like, who's it for? Is it for babies? Is it for toddlers? Is it for kids in middle childhood? I tried to pick good toys that had information on their manufacturer's website, because you're going to talk about, like, what does a toy do? Is it supposed to help with hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills, memory, cognition, social skills? What are they claiming that this toy can do? So you're going to talk about that and how it's helpful. And then you will think up a modification. So, like, what would you add? Would you make, maybe the toy is only a few colors and you'd make it more colorful? Or maybe there's no option to turn the sound down or something like that. So you're going to talk about one modification from your standpoint that you will change. And you're definitely going to use stuff from your textbook. So you might say, okay, this toy claims to help with cognitive development. Piaget's theory of cognitive development says, blah, blah, blah. And then you're gonna cite that. Okay. I don't know if it says, okay, let's look down here at the rubric. Just looking for sources here. So it should be APA format, double-spaced, in-text citations, reference page, title page. And then here it says includes required textbooks. So this is our textbook. Some students find another developmental textbook. That's fine as an additional source, but you have to use our textbook as one of the sources. And then the website where you got the information about the game. And then you can use more than that if you want. Maybe you find a really good website on games and how they improve physical milestones. That's fine, but this is the required, okay? So that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for that you cited your textbook. And after I look at your reference page, I would look back at the paper to make sure that you're using in-text citations. So if you, anytime you use sources, I should be able to look back in the paper and Lally in French or Lally and Valentine, whatever the year is. Now, I don't typically take off points if there aren't enough in-text citations, just so you're not representing someone else's work as your own. And even when you're using in-text citations, you need to paraphrase in your own words. So something that gets students tripped up is, students know not to use ChatGPT or other AI. But where it gets confusing is, for instance, like Grammarly free version is fine, Grammarly paid version is not as good, right? So anytime you put your words into a program and it rewrites a sentence for you, that's no longer your intellectual property, okay? So if it were me, I would just use Microsoft Word, open that up, that has spelling grammar checks. I know some students like to use Google Docs. That's fine as well, as long as you convert it to a PDF. To upload it to Canvas. Canvas is funny about the different file types it takes. You don't have to use a thesaurus. You don't have to use big words. Part of the point of these assignments is you taking this concept and putting it into your own words. So, like, Piaget's theory, how would this apply to it? Erikson's psychosocial theory, how would this apply in your own words? I want to know that you understand the theory well enough to apply it, okay? So you don't have to acquire these games at all. You're just going to briefly research them online. Yeah, and one of the two that you picked, and then just to show you what the template looks like, I would use this. I would probably open this up and kind of fill it in, and then, like I said, write it in paragraph form. You do have to put a picture, so you have to copy and paste a picture from the website. You know, is it geared toward a gender? It might not say that. This might be your opinion. Well, okay, the oven is pink, so I think they're gearing it toward girls. Or the tractor is blue, so they're gearing it toward boys. The manufacturer might not say that. That's just you kind of thinking that. Functionality, manufacturer's claims, okay, and then you get down here, you're going to do physical or psychosocial. You can certainly do both if you want. Cognitive, okay, 5 to 10 sentences. Any modifications? Okay, so like I said, physical or psychosocial. So is it good for the pincer grasp? Is it good for fine motor skills? Is it good for turn taking and learning those social skills? And then whatever cognitive claims it's making. Okay, memory, learning, lots of different stuff. Okay, so you can definitely use the template as a tool. Make sure you're writing complete sentences and all that stuff. Okay, thank you.